Today, Spanky and I are going to rebuild a power steering pump for a Acura TL. This is a 2000 3.2 liter. And the problem with this one is it sounds like this. It just basically sounds like it's made by Ford. Makes the same noise all the Fords make. So let's tear into this thing, shall we?
Okay, if this is a 19 millimeter.
Cool.
And this lifts straight up. Actually, keep those together.
There's a bunch of different O-rings you're going to need. You're going to need a seal like this. And you're going to need a round O-ring that's about the size of the diameter of it. Another one that goes down in the middle. And then another one for the inlet pipe. And then another one that has a circle with a little bump on it. So there's that. And we're going to go ahead and tear into this thing.
And this one's a 10 millimeter. I find it handy to know what it is.
Sure. So this one you want to kind of twist and rock and pull out. If the O-ring gets stuck in there, you just grab your dental tool and fish it out. Out with the old, in with the new, they say. See, this one's just really brittle. You can see that it's open like the letter C. The correct O-ring should be orange, I think.
Oh, this is black.
Anyway, what you can do is you can either get a kit through O'Reilly and they'll have the right O-rings for you. There we go, that's better. So then, here you go. Take that and put that together. And then you don't got to worry about it no more. So you want to push this in all the way by hand. Oh, careful.
Yeah.
And say as it goes in, you want to make sure that you twist and rock and maneuver it and get it all the way flat like that. It'll push off a little bit and your bolts will pull it back down, but if you just twist it, then it'll stay in place pretty good. If you force it, or if you have the bolt draw it in, it'll cut the O-ring, or it'll just be really crooked. You don't want that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Sometimes that's all you have to do to solve your moaning problem. And other times there's more to do, so we're going to show you all the rest of it. The next thing you want to do is pull the snap ring off. So you got to do a balance of pushing into the thing and squeezing at the same time, and then slowly rock it up. If you have a helper, then you can just have one person squeeze and then the other person rock. I rock. These snap ring pliers are pretty special. We got it. We're good.
There you go.
You just need to get one side started, and then you can hook into it and pull it up. You don't want to bend it, but what you can do is pull it this direction, and it won't hurt it at all. And then just work it around. Man, this one's being a pain, isn't it? How many of these have I pulled in this one? It's a camera, it's a stage fright thing. There you go, I just use that as a lever to pry against a fulcrum. Swap to 12, flip it over. Zap, zap, zap. So we've got this apart, but you can't really very well pull this out, and you don't want this out yet. You want to take the back side apart first. That's what Spanky do. Dun 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 dun. So we're gonna get a screwdriver ready because this next part's a little tricky. That wasn't too tricky. What am I talking about? So there's one of the O-rings we want to get to here. You can see this one's just falling apart. See, it's nice and supple-ish. It's flat. It's just completely crushed. So we'll throw that aside. We'll get our new one. Slap it in there. And if you want, you can just put these right back on if everything's clean and happy. Why not, right? You'll notice that one side will work with this back plate and the other won't. If you get it wrong, just turn it around. When you look at, dude, this thing is really not happy. There we go. You look at this, it's got a dot on one side. The dot should go to the upside. Hey, look on the upside, on the bright side. Only goes one way. Cool. So we'll just set that aside. It's rebuilt, ready to rock. What's next?
This needs to come out.
There's a trick you can do with this so that you don't lose all your paddles. If you take not one, but 2 dental picks, you can hook underneath it here. See, each of these paddles can go out like that, and they want to fall and go everywhere. So if you just want to keep them in place, you'll also notice that the dot faces up on this one. I don't know if you can see there's a dot there. And then all of the rest of these are circles. There's a dot on this side too. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook it like this and just scoop the whole dang thing. Rock your dental picks back and you kind of hold it secure. You'll notice that one of these big O-rings came out with it. We'll just set this aside, and this makes this rebuild so much easier if you just do that one little thing. It'll save you a ton of grief. Sometimes this comes out with this. That's okay. Work with it. So there's another O-ring down there in the middle. Usually this one will be stuck down in there. In this case it wasn't, so we've got it handy. So we get rid of it. We take a new one and drop the new one in. There's a little bit of debris in there, so we're going to clean that out while we're in there. Drop in the new O-ring. You know, let's hold off on that for a minute. But there's basically 2 O-rings. You've got the big one that you saw there and this one that are going to be in there. So we'll set these aside. Alright, the next order of business is what? What should we do, Spanks?
We need to get the shaft out.
Okay, so you get a big metal hammer and just
No!
don't use a metal hammer, you'll jack up the shaft. I'm going to show you in this clip right here what happens or how to fix it if you did use a metal hammer. You need to make sure to use a brass hammer when you're driving this part out. The bearing's going to sit in here. You can see it doesn't just drop right in. You know, you got to drive it out. So you want to use a brass hammer on the back side of it. If you don't, you can cause something to change, or you can cause the diameter to change on this. And that's just trouble. Nobody likes that because this has to go inside the back of the case. And the back of the case has a bushing that it corresponds with. You can see it doesn't drop right in. It's fighting it. And it can't be like that because that's got to be able to spin. This one got dinged up by yours truly. And so I'll show you what that looks like. See, when you have this set here, it slides off easily this way. If I turn it 90 degrees, it holds it. It doesn't slide off. So we're going to have to correct that and machine that back to correct. So rotate it, it comes off. If you use a brass hammer, brass is softer than steel, and then you're not going to have that problem. You can see that it's got a little bit of a smeared face on it right there, so we're going to clean that up. So the easiest way to just get a little bit off is with a wire wheel. Wire wheel is made to take gaskets and all that soft material off. But if you have a high spot, it's just going to hit on it. So I look at this, I can see that the ding's on this top side. I just polish it this way to get the high spot to take most of the brunt of the wheel, and then turn it this way and just clean it up. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in the bushing and just real gently set it in there. It should be able to just drop in. I got to push a little bit because it's kind of suction fit, but that'll be in good shape. It sounds like when you do the little cork pop. So anyway, we're in good shape now. We're back. So tap tap Rooski. Brass is softer than steel, it won't mar it. You want to hit it as square as you can. You'll notice that there's a little ring, washer or metal ring in there. And then there's your seal. It's a lively one, you got to hang on to that one. So you got a seal in there. You can either use a blind seal puller to get that out and just pry it like this, or just whatever it takes. So we'll take that seal, get rid of it, throw it away. The number on that seal, by the way, for those accounting at home that want to get one, it's an AH0997E. So that's the NOC or NOK number for it. So we'll get the new seal. We'll get a socket that corresponds with it, your 19 millimeter that you use to get off the pulley actually interfaces with that pretty good. So we're going to swab that out with a Q-tip, make sure that there's no debris. I know it's debris, I'm just having fun with you. There's a little debris. Look at that debris right there. Good night. I could have like sunk a ship or something. Just kidding, I'm being dumb. So take the seal. The open end of the seal goes in first. The close end is obviously on the top. And it flipped over as I put it in. Careful now. That should push in pretty easily. So just push the seal in. So that's all that we wanted to do. If you want to change the bearing, if you have a bad bearing, we don't, our bearing's perfect. But say you had a bad bearing that was all ripped up and it had a bad seal on the outside of it or something, you can change them. It's not a real big deal. You can see that this is really wide and thick, and then this is really thin. So what you do is you put it in your vise. These are vise teeth, by the way. Just use your imagination. You just knock it through and then go to put the new one on. Put it on this end and then just knock this into it. Again, use a brass hammer on these ends. One trick that you can do to help save yourself some trouble on this end with the threads so that you don't bash them in is get that so that it's nice and flat like that, and then do that as you're knocking the old seal off. As far as knocking the new seal on, just be really gentle and make sure that you hit the thing this way, not this way. You hit it this way, you're just going to have a bad day. Really straight, really flush like that. Right?
Right.
Cool. So let's go ahead and put this one in. Now, which has more friction? The outside of this on the soft metal or the hard steel on the hard steel on this one? Which do you think? It's the hard steel to hard steel versus steel and soft metal.
Yeah.
So you can actually take this and make sure you get a little bit of fluid or something on this. Make sure you don't have any burrs or anything. You see that shiny line there? That shiny line is where the seal makes contact with this. So make sure that your gloves got a little fluid on it, put it in, and then you can actually knock this in and it'll take the bearing with it because these are so tight together. So if you get a big socket like this, you can take the socket and put it right there. Just make sure you're centered because you don't want to, if it's tippy at all, it can mar the surface. And then this is a sealing surface with the O-ring that's the funky chicken. This one that's got the little bulge on it. So just make sure that you're on it real good if you're going to go this method. Alright, you ready? Spaghetti?
Yep.
Whackity schmackety.
Nice and square. A little more?
Yep. You'll hear it when it's done.
Yeah, I felt
And
that.
again, you can put the nut on there to protect that. We were going to do that and I forgot. I rushed her. So,
But we had a brass hammer.
because I am at a Russian. Okay, so we're going to take our circlip. I'm just not FPS Russia, am I? My apologies. So you want to take your circlip. Here you go. I think I have the circlip upside down, the hard cut end. You want the smooth side up. It'll go into the channel easier.
Yeah.
I think that's why it was so hard to get out. I think somebody put it in with the hard side up. So you want to hold it across there.
Yeah, it's been a little while since
She's
I've
just
done
showing you what happens if you don't hold your hand flat across the back. There you go. That just works as a big dampening influence for good. You just push everything down on both sides of the shaft. Your pliers are pushing down, this side's pushing down. And then the ring, it'll just want to go down. You got it.
Going.
Just keep that influence on there. It's a squirmy little sucker, but perseverance, you know.
There we go. Let's go.
Gotta squeeze that thing hard. It's a tough sucker. Okay, at this point you don't need pliers anymore. You just take your screwdriver. Make sure not to get into the seal. If you just take your screwdriver, just give it a little tap like that, it'll just drop right in. No need to fight, right? So how do you tell which side of the pulley goes on?
Well, there's going to be where the nut kissed it.
Yep. Look on the other side. it's not gonna be this. It's not gonna look the same. It's gonna be clean and no rub marks. So, all right. And these pumps, they're found in the Acura TL. They're found in the Honda Odyssey. They're found in all kinds of stuff everywhere. So, 19 millimeter. Set it to tighten. And one more, couple little bumps. Good. And flip it over, ditch the socket. Now we're back to the business end. Let's get another Q-tip because for whatever reason something got in there. You just gotta keep an eye on these dang things. If there's any debris in here, it's gonna get in those little fins. You know the fins I'm talking about, the little paddles in there. We don't need that. So, I'm gonna keep it clean. So we got 2 O-rings to put in here first. We've got, there you go. Got a big one and a little one. The little one, it's easier to put in the plate, and the big one, it's easier to just put in there. So we put the big O-ring in there. Just make sure that it makes the trip and that it's nice and round. You don't have a little dimple or pucker in it.
It'll show a little silver line all the way around, so just make sure that's nice and even.
Mm-hmm. So these we never took apart. They're dots up. So we need to put the O-ring in here. Let's just show you what it looks like, shall we? So we're going to keep it all together. We're going to put the O-ring in here. This helps it to go on better if you just have it in there. Cool. Go back. So you want to line it up the best you can. If you use your dental picks, in the same way that you pull it out, you can lower it back on. That works. Or you can just drop it in. This depends on how much fluid's on those paddles, if they're going to cooperate or not. There we go. So I'm just going to rotate that until it seems to be happy. Well, it just doesn't want to go. I think it's caught up on...
Yeah, hold up.
It's caught up on the O-ring. There we go. So if the O-ring's happy, rock it. If not, hold on just a second. We're going to cover one more thing. This has guide pins on it right here that have to get into this. So if you tip this way, you can see that this is going to be in that corner. So if you rotate that to that corner now, that's going to save you some grief later, because this isn't going to be real easy to move. So yeah, go ahead and put that in. And if these fall out, you want to remember that this side is the flat side, this side's round, I believe.
Yep.
And so we'll just take this, put it in there. I hope I got that right. Just look at yours and see which way it is. Either way it's going to work, but it may work better one way than the other. And just click it in like that. Now if you have a big gap right here, you've got something wrong. Something's not lining up or clicking in. I've got a big gap actually right now. So I got to find where that little bump is and get it to seat. You want to make sure that it seats first. Also, there's one other thing that we forgot. So we're going to do it over again. We left out the ring. So we'll just do it real quick. This will be a good review, right? Alright, so set that. And this. Couple of picks. Who knew you were going to get such a review, huh? Fantastic. Alright, so we got our O-ring in there. It's still in there. Good enough. This O-ring I'm going to pull out just so we don't forget it or have it fall out when we're not looking. 19 millimeter. That's my fault. I'm the narrator. I'm supposed to be supposed to be remembering all these things. I think we're so excited or intimidated by this snap ring that we just spaced it all together. You get some better snap ring pliers, huh? These are kind of homemade jobs. been customized on the wire wheel. Feel free to jump in there with that dental pick.
You were having fun. So
I'm a little bit proud, but not exactly a show off.
not too proud to
There we
beg.
go. Not too proud to beg. Please, Spanky, where are you? Help. Alright, so we're all torn down again. Brass hammer or rubber mallet, either way. So this goes in here, right?
Yep.
So don't forget, we did. Cruising right along. For sake of brevity, I'm just going to go a little bit show off here for a minute.
Nice.
Get the 12 ready. We'll flip it back over. Got an O-ring that goes here. See, everybody makes mistakes. Don't feel bad. And then this one. See, if you have this here, I think this goes to the right side. We'll find out here in a minute. Get the O-ring to sit down nice. Ooh, that felt pretty good. That was great. So, gotta flip it, dots up, right? This doesn't want to play nice. Get that click down here. Seems like you want to put this on first, but I just do it this way. Experience has shown. Alright, now when we look at this, is it nice and flat? Nope. The O-ring came up. And I don't know why. You know what I would do? I would pull this up, pop your O-ring out and put the O-ring in last. Okay, because what's happening is this is biting in on the O-ring a little bit. Can't believe that's a new O-ring. It's so flat from the factory. That's how it is. Deal with it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get all kinds of crazy wild man and go in this way so that it can't fall out of that again. And now I'm nice and tight. Good and tight. There we go. When you look at a kit that costs 25 bucks versus getting a pump that's 200, and it's that simple to put the seals and O-rings in it, you know, as long as you know what you're doing, might as well rebuild the pump. So you want to tighten these opposites. Do one side a little bit, the other side a little bit. Go a little bit more, make it squeeze a little. There you go.
I will.
Just so you want to make sure that it goes on together first and then put the bolts in, because if you just drive it in with the bolts, you'll break something and then you'll be like, dang it, Brian and Spanky led me astray. Can't believe they made me break my power steering pump. Now what am I gonna do?
Buy a new one.
Buy a new one, basically. Yeah, and eat the core, because your core is gonna be worthless. So that's how you rebuild a Honda or Acura power steering pump. Turn your thing, make sure that it turns freely. Mine had a little bit of a hiccup hang up, and then it just got happy. But before you turn it on and get it going, you want to make sure that that goes good. So, oh,
yay.
Just like new. Way to go, Spanky.
There you go, Brian.
Yeah. Let's put it in and see if it works, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes. I bet you thought we were done. We're not. We still have to do this O-ring here. The pressure line that goes from the pump, that's potential for air to get in. So getting the old rock hard O-ring off, basically you just have to cut it and get it to come off, because it's not going to stretch. So I just take a dental pick and then just pry down. You don't want to mar or scar any of this, but it's all steel, so it's all ferrous. It should hold up pretty good. Just hang one side down, take it off, but you just take it and just stretch it on. See? So make sure to get some power steering fluid, put it on there with your finger, and then try to set it aside in such a way it won't get dirt on it. Okay, so we need to get the nut on that corresponds to this. So looking back behind there, I've got this pulled up all the way, and that does a couple of things. It holds the bolt going through up and tight against the pump so it doesn't slip back. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it between my two fingers like you see, and I'm going to get in there close first. And then I'm just going to use those two fingers to just kind of nurse it on there. So you'll notice we don't have any hoses on the pump at all. Just kind of get that going like that. Once I've got that started and this one's been started, then I can loosen this up. Pull the screwdriver out. You don't want to go all the way off, but just right close to it. There we go. I'm going to grab a socket and tighten this in there a little bit more. Let's get it to where it doesn't have a lot of play, doesn't have a lot of slop, but it isn't tight, because we still got to move this thing to be able to get the right tension on the belt, etc. So this bottom one looks like it's a 14 millimeter.
It's 13.
Is it 13?
Yeah.
Somebody put the wrong one.
Back,
What's that?
backside's 12.
Yeah,
13.
if it's 13, you know that somebody lost to a fastener and went in with something else. It's an older car. It's bound to have been serviced by a few different people. We lost this nut on the first shoot, or first take of it. So I'm not surprised somebody else did too and then just ditched it. Okay, so you drop that down. We'll put the belt on first. You want to check the bottom and make sure that your belt's on the crank properly. If you hold the camera aimed straight down right there, you can see we're in good shape. See?
Yep.
So then we're going to use a deep socket, and we'll D-walt. We're going to bring this up close, and then I'm going to get down here and twist it 90 degrees. So while I'm twisting, I just kind of bump the throttle. You want to be able to twist it to 90 degrees and no more than that. If you go to where it's too tight, you're going to wear out the bearing and the seals on your pump. If you have it too loose, it's going to scream and squeal at you. So with the belt tight now, we can go back in through here and get it tightened up. We switch for a 13 millimeter in our case, but yours should be a 12 or a 14. We're just going to torque this one down first. Good. And then go back with a 12 on this other side. If we hook our belts up first, they'll create an influence and kind of play with you. It's like trying to put your shoe on while your dog's trying to take the shoe away from you. Just to get all this extra physics going on that you just don't need. So our belt's nice and tight. We'll take this and just click it in place. Get some 90-degree pliers. You can see where I've taken mine and cut them right there and there with the cut-off tool. That gives it a little spot for the clamp to live. That way it doesn't slip off so much. And just tug on the clamp to kind of cinch it down. That helps ensure that you don't have any seeping leaks. So we got our new seal on here. We're still clean. We're looking good. So we'll just put that in place. Before just shoving it down on there, you want to kind of finesse and get it to go in nice so that it doesn't cut the edge of the O-ring at all. Start our little bolts in there. Switch to a 10 millimeter.
Losing battery.
I'll hurry up before it goes bad. Ah! Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And we're done. Almost done. We're going to put this on the charger, and what we're going to do is we're going to fill up the power steering fluid. We're going to jack the front end up. We're going to turn the wheel lock to lock all the way till it stops, all the way till it stops 3 or 4 times. Then we're going to start it up. crank it all the way to lock so it'll bleed the rack and go into, you know, loop and get all the air out. And we'll show you what that looks like. It's gonna be fun. Oh, car's possessed. Not again. Oh, we got Spanky in there. Hey, Spanky. Ooh, she does look possessed. It's not the car. So we're steering it back and forth, and basically what that's doing is just kind of cycling the fluid through, and we're just trying to work the air out of it. It's not super effective, but it works for a little bit. So, step over the jack. Go ahead and fire it up. We got a well ventilated work area. We got both the hoses going out the window. Got a fan pushing it out. You hear that noise? That's what it sounds like when there's air in the system, and that's basically what the problem was. Okay, go ahead and turn it off. We're just gonna let it soak for a minute. Let the air work through between the little blades. A little bit of air in there. The fluid's gone down now quite a bit. It was full all the way. Actually, I had it overfilled. We're good now. All right, yeah, go ahead and start it up. That fluid's nasty. Get it changed. All right, so go ahead and turn the wheel all the way to the side. And rev it. By rev, so you did exactly what I asked. You're just like, I did rev it. Go ahead and hold it at like 1500 RPM and hold it all the way at the lock. What that does is it lets a bunch of air come up. See that kind of frothy look coming out? Crank it a little harder to the right. There you go. That opens up the pressure release. Go ahead and do that on the other side. Turn the other direction. That just helps flush a lot of the air out. It gets stuck in the rack when you first start it up. When it first started up, remember, this doesn't have any fluid in it, and so it takes a little while to get it out. So this is what the power steering sounded like before we did the rebuild. So now as we drive it and flush the air out, it'll get quiet. Go ahead and rev it to 2500. Good. Just go back and forth, lock to lock. So now we're getting really quiet, except when we're at lock. But at lock you should get a little bit of that noise. Just go back and forth without revving it. Just lock to lock. And don't hold it, just go back and forth. So this is normal operation, and it sounds pretty dang good until the fan kicks on and the AC compressor. We're looking in there now. We don't see a whole lot of air or froth. There's a little bit just from the turbulence, but it's really not too bad. You get a little bit of noise at lock to lock, but for the most part, we're in great shape. That's how you fix that noise, is you replace the power steering pump or rebuild it with a rebuilt one. Replace with a rebuilt or just rebuild it yourself. We showed you how. So now we're not even getting much air at the locks. We're in good shape. That's good. Go ahead and center the wheel. Stop. Kill it. Bang! All right, let's see where we're at. So we still got a little bit of air that's going to work its way out. Remember to use Honda power steering fluid only. We're using Excel brand power steering fluid for Honda vehicles. They use a little bit different type. It's more of a mineral oil base, I think, rather than being a hydraulic normal transmission fluid or hydraulic fluid of another nature. Who's getting paid? Whose job is this? Work it, work it. Awesome. Well, that's a good result. 20 bucks in parts plus a little transmission fluid and some brake cleaner. That's way better than paying 200 bucks and then having to swap the pump.
Power steering fluid?
Yeah, that's what I said. Brake fluid, power steering fluid, and $25 kit. Not bad. She's smirking because she knows that she's not paying that much for it. Yay.